Hi there, my name is Renee. I'm a mental health counselor with the Red Deer Primary Care Network, and today I wanted to share some tips with you about how we could tolerate uncertainty during this crisis that we're in. So none of us are sure what's going to happen next, and sometimes trying to find answers is really difficult when we don't know the answers. So none of us has a crystal ball, and it's really hard to really know what is going to happen. But what we can do is learn to tolerate the uncertainty as we are navigating this time that we don't have the answers for. So I wanted to share an acronym with you that can be really helpful when we are trying to do just that, to tolerate the uncertainty of the unknown in a situation that we have no control over. So I have an acronym that I'm just going to share with you, and so I'll be referring to this handout. You'll see me kind of look to the left a little bit so I can look at it. So we use the acronym APPLE to help us tolerate uncertainty. So the first letter, A, stands for acknowledge. So we need to notice the need for certainty as it comes up. So we are meaning makers. We try to make sense of things. That's just what we do as people. But truthfully, we need to acknowledge this need for uncertainty as it comes up for us. And then P stands for pause. Don't react as you normally do. Just pause and take a breath. So you're noticing your need for uncertainty, and then you're pausing and taking a breath. The next P stands for pull back. Remembering that this is just worry talking, that this need for certainty isn't helpful and it's actually not necessary. We don't have all the answers. So how do we remind ourselves that our thoughts aren't facts? These are just thoughts. We don't need to believe everything that we think. Okay? And then L is letting go of that thought or feeling. So how do we acknowledge that we have a thought or feeling, but how do we actually let it go? So some people might breathe through it. Some people might acknowledge that our thought is just a thought and sort of notice it, but sort of imagine or visualize it being carried away in a bus or in a car or floating away in a cloud, so to speak. So we don't have to respond to everything that we think, and remembering that thoughts are not facts. So E stands for explore. How do we explore the present moment? One way we can do that is by getting in touch with our senses. So to be grounded in our bodies helps us sort of explore the present moment. So we might use our breath to ground us in our body. We might use our senses. So I might pay attention to what I see right now. What do I hear right now? What do I feel right now in my body? So I might notice sensations of breath. I might notice the chair supporting my body. I might notice my feet on the floor. So mindfully being in the present moment might really be helpful. Okay, I have a couple more tips that I think are going to be really helpful for you, hopefully. So I just want to mention a few more things. And then as part of this video, I will share the link to the APPLE strategy to help you sort of play around with tolerating uncertainty on your own. Another thing we can do is use this time to reconstruct routines and rituals. So instead of focusing on the crisis, we might want some routines and rituals to bring some structure to our life. So one thing we might do is we might connect with people in meaningful or fun ways. So we might make sure we're spending time having family meals. We might arrange to take breaks with friends. I have a friend that I'm doing a walk and talk with every week, and that is getting us exercising and getting us connecting. We might make sure that we have game night, or activity night. Or we might go for family walks or watch family movies or play board games every Tuesday. How do we create some rituals and routines that are going to help us to have some fun? And beyond that, how are we going to potentially create some time to talk about what's going on with us, to talk about our stress? So we might create some family meetings, for example. How do we use technology to stay connected to people? So we might be using FaceTime, we might be using Skype, we might be doing some things outside our comfort zone, but ways to connect. So another thing that I'm finding really helpful is I'm meeting with my book club via Zoom or House Party or Skype so that we can still connect and have fun together, even though we are not meeting like we used to right now. Okay, so the other thing we can do is kind of look for the meaning in all of this. So when we can find meaning in times of crisis, it helps us to gain some resilience and it helps us persevere. So we may sort of think about the meaning in times of these uncertain times, right? So what is the meaning behind the business owner choosing to close their business voluntarily? So they might be doing that as their way to help control the spread of the virus. They may be doing that as a way to help their families that work for them connect with their loved ones and be home to regroup and take care of their children. So they might be doing it as a way to take care of their employees. How do you, as an individual, maybe find some meaning during this time? So maybe it's reaching out to a neighbor that lives by themselves and helping them to sort of know that they're not alone. How do we use this time to connect with other people? Some of the meaning that you may look for is extra family time, right? Helping your kids with their schoolwork. This is a chance for you to understand what they're learning in school. This is a time for you to spend more time together. Maybe in your relationship, you're using this as a time to slow down and reconnect with your partner. Maybe you're using this as a time to reconnect with friends you haven't talked to in years. So maybe you're setting up a way to chat virtually and reconnect as a way to check in and as a way to realize, of what really matters to you. So friendships that we get too busy for, that we lose touch with, maybe this is a time to kind of get reconnected with what's important to us, what's meaningful to us, get in touch with what we really value and put that stuff into action. Maybe it's a time for you to kind of revisit your goals, your own priorities. Maybe it's a time for you to realize, I want to reinvest time in the craft that I like to do. I want to reinvest time in working less. Maybe I want to reinvest this time to have more fun with people that I really care about. So those are just some tips that can help you navigate this time. I know it's scary. I acknowledge that there's a lot of uncertainty, but while we have to manage this uncertainty, hopefully these tips will be helpful. So thanks so much, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.